Hey traders, welcome back to another mindset sharing. So recently I've been receiving a lot of DMs asking me regarding how do you scale from zero to right now where you are. So if you look at my recent video, January 2025 is my record month. I'm very blessed. I'm very proud to say that I hit my first one over what is about 1.3 million months. Is insane. It's an achievement to me, but it's not something that I will say, oh, I hit that 1 million month, I will slow down, I will take it slow. I don't. I still work. I still perform my daily routine. I still run my community. I still, I'm still a father. I'm still a husband. Everything resumes. So don't just imagine that you hit that 1 million month. What's next? Nothing really changes. So get back to the title of the video. How did I first start it? So I've talked about my life story multiple times, but I would like to still maybe let's roughly go through everything again. So I started trading when I was 18 years old. I'm 26 right now. So you can imagine how many years I've been in the market. It's not overnight success. And I'm not someone who's arrogant. I'm not someone who say I'm successful. To me, there's no such thing as the definition of success. Success is not a destination. It's a process. It's a journey. So if you're an aspiring trader and if you're working hard, you're actually putting in the work, you are putting the blood, sweat, tear. To me, you are already living the definition of my success. My definition of success. So I started when I was 18 years old. The main reason why I started trading was because I wasn't satisfied with my condition at that time. I was still a uni student, so I was thinking, hey, how can I make money at the same time, study at the same time, doing part-time jobs in cafes, bars, restaurants, events, as a promoter, as a restaurant server, as a housekeeper in five-star hotels. So I've done a lot of that, even as a hotel butler as well. I've done that. And I started with as little as a few $100s. That's it. I started with three figures, few $100. And when you have, well, I would like to first say this: when you have few $100s under your name, your job is not about how can I get rich with this $100. How can I get rich with this $500? You should be asking, how can I build a solid layer of foundation with my limited resource? When I first started trading, there's no such thing as prop firm. Maybe there was FTMO, but I didn't know. I truly discovered FTMO on my late second year. So I lost my money again, few $100. I lost it. Then I worked in Australia. I made a couple $1,000s from my part-time job. I lost everything. So I would, every time when I run out of money, I would go back to my part-time job in a restaurant. I would then throw all of my income from the part-time job back to my trading account. It was still IC market. I've been using IC market since day one. So if some of you always ask me why IC market, is because it's one of the largest FX broker. It's very reliable. There's no scammy thing going on. So I've been using it for a very long time. So I would then work, throw the money in, work, throw the money in. Just like everyone else, I lost all of them. So I think at the beginning I lost at least 20k Aussie dollar. So if you were to ask me how did I have that much money, work. And that's why up until today I still receive a lot of DMs where people tell me, hey, you're fortunate, you have the money to start trading. Imagine if you're living in a third world country. I know living in a third world country or born in a third world country is unfortunate, and that is something that we can't change. Do you want to be an individual just keep complaining about your root, complaining about where you came from, but instead trying to find solution to fix it? I would much rather be the second one. Don't complain and fix it. I was an ordinary human, probably the lowest in Australia. I have to work multiple jobs a day, from snatching OTs shift to shift, just to get that $15-20 Aussie dollars an hour. That's my routine for for a very long time, and saved money, lost everything. And it was up until one point where I actually described this story before. There was one day, my manager, I was pretty tired that day. So when you're working in a hotel, in a restaurant, there's always a lot of so-called politics. Someone hate you, someone don't like you, because you perform better. Someone else feel like you're faking it. And just like up until today, when I log into my broker, show my statement, when I do all possible credibility proof, there will still be people saying that I'm faking my P&L. Like, it's okay. I don't blame them. The same thing goes to my personality has been, if I want to do something, I go all in. So at that time, when I was at the restaurant, I worked very hard. Like, let's say my shift ends at 1 a.m. Australia time, I will stay back until 1:30, making sure all the cups are clean, tables are nice, the tablecloth prepared, cutleries are prepared. So it is indirectly create some people that dislike me at the workplace, because they think I'm faking it. They think, why do you work so hard? You just get your salary, you just clock off when your shift is done. I wasn't someone like that, and that's how I translate that passion into trading as well. So there was one day my manager said that, hey Neoh, can you look at the watch that person's wearing? I say, what's that? Back then I have no clue on what's Rolex, what's Patek Philippe, what's a Richard Mille. I don't know any of that. So he was like, dude, that's Rolex, so you can never afford that watch. So that sentence really hit me. So I asked how much was it? It's like 20,000, 25,000 USD. At that time, to me, it's like, whoa, that's human being that puts a $25,000 watch on their wrist. Obviously these days it's different, because I'm blessed enough to say I worked hard and I've achieved many goals that I wanted. But back then 25,000 was like, wow, this is an insane amount. So at that point, I still remember that night, I went back home, and that was when I really started saying I need to double down in trading. Besides trading, I also tried drop shipping. I also so the funny thing was, because trading wasn't working at that time, right? It wasn't working. I'll make a bit of money. I lost everything. I revenge trade, and it wasn't sustainable. I was constantly bleeding money, and I then started looking for different business model, sort of home-to-home business model. I even considered at one point to buy a cushion or a couch cleaning machine, where you go to someone else, you knock their door, you clean the couch for them. I even wanted to start a business idea like that, but guess what? It didn't work because I didn't have the capital. So I eventually go back to trading again. Trade fail, and it was one day I say, I'm done, I'm enough. And that was when everything started taking off. So I fully go back to my restaurant job. I saved a lot of money, and I start buying courses. That was when I say, hey, I need to invest in education. I'm like many of you, I have some money saved up from my job. It was really hard earned money, right? So I would then throw my money into different courses. It wasn't cheap, back. It's not like these days where all the forex lessons are quite accessible on the internet. Obviously there's a lot of misinformation as well. We all know there's a lot of gurus, but back then FX wasn't that simple, right? You have to really do your own research on Google, on article, all these stuff. And yeah, I paid a lot of money, thousands and thousands of dollars into different courses. I won't name what's the course. And guess what? I finally realized I learned something. At least I learned something. I wouldn't say these courses were helpful, but at least I learned something. And that was when I started to change my training style, my routine, my habit. And I'm just like many of you. I would wake up at 5 a.m., 4 a.m., watch the New York Asia Open, and I'll then stare at the chart until I start working. Normally I start working, my shift starts around 11 a.m. 12 p.m. I will sit in front of the chart, breakfast is there, everything's there. The only time where I leave the desk is when I need to have my lunch or whatever. And it was more of a gambling mentality. It wasn't as healthy, I'll be honest. So it lasted for a very long time. At least for 1 to 2 years, my lifestyle has always been so unhealthy. It's good to work hard, but obviously now I can say that without that period of hardships, without that period of tunnel vision, I wouldn't be where I am now. So I'm blessed to say that. So I turned $3,000 or $4,000 into 120K. That was my biggest miracle. If you were to ask me, can I do that now? I would say can, but it was very risky. So my first bucket of money came from turning $3,000 into 120K. I risk a lot. I won't be here bluffing all of you and say, oh, I have a proper 1-2% risk management, turning $3,000 into 120 over 1,000. Not possible. I was risking 20-30% of my account, but because I had nothing to lose, that $3,000 was like my everything. So it's either I lose all of the money and go back to my job, I get more shift, I make money and reinvest back, or I just go all in. So I had the skill. I started seeing some consistency as I did my back test, forward test very intensively on some of the strategy that I'm still teaching in my trade club right now. So I turned 3,000 to 120 over 1,000. That was my first bucket of money. And then I made a very silly mistake, which was I invested in a restaurant business, and I lost every single thing. I lost everything. It was probably one of my darkest period in my life. I went into debt, very bad debt. I don't even have to say the figure. And guess what? I lost all of my money, plus I went into negative. Because if I were to look back and I say one biggest lesson that I learned is when you have something that you're so good at, for me, I'm good at trading. If you're good at trading, focus on your main income, which is trading. Because in Chinese, we say this is your rice bowl. Because Chinese, we eat a lot of rice, right? This is your rice bowl. In order for you to thrive, to really succeed in life, this rice bowl cannot spill. Alright? Just like today, if you're trying to learn a skill set, you're trying to master something. If you're someone who want to learn 10,000 kicks at once, like what Bruce Lee said, fear not someone who practice 10,000 kicks one time each, but fear someone who practice one kick for 10,000 times. The same thing goes to me. I already have the skill set, and I turn a small figure like $3,000 into 120K. What I should do at that point of time was actually double down into my trading. And guess what? I didn't, and I was distracted. I invested in a business. I lost every single thing. And it was a very dark period of life where I have no more capital. I have to go back to my job, and I have to again I became a server. I then made money again. Yeah, it was quite a tough period. So I then have to start from scratch again. Sorry, I didn't become a server. Sorry, I said something wrong. What I said was I had to start from scratch again. I had very limited money. So what I did was I started trading again, and this time, guess what? Prop firms came. There was one day I saw FTMO. FTMO appear after I failed my business, and that was a period where I was a little bit skeptical, because imagine you are someone who thought that you have to trade your own hard-earned capital, your hard-earned money, in exchange for potential profit. So when FTMO appeared on the advertisement, I was very skeptical. I was like, is it even possible? Like, you pass phase 1, phase 2 with fees, and then they pay you. And I still remember my first FTMO challenge succeed, and I made over 15 or 17k on the first day. You know, I'm saying back then FTMO only had a 70% split, a minimum 30-day payout cycle. So it was that time, like minimum 5 days, 5 trading days, all of that. So I made money at the first, on the first payout, and that was when everything took off, because I told myself I need to stay focused. I will make money from prop firm, reinvest into my personal capital, and ever since then, that was technically how it all started. So I always make sure I make money from prop firms, I reinvest back, and guess what? My personal capital and my prop firms are always going side by side, hands in hand. And that was when I really started seeing more money. I would live below my mean. I would act like I was broke, and I would save up just to reinvest more into trading, because I know every single penny that I waste, if I reinvest them into my personal capital, I can potentially generate high returns. That was my mentality. So yeah, fast forward today. I stopped trading prop firms for a very long time. I think at least 9 months to 1 year. I stopped trading prop firm because I have enough personal capital to trade. And as much as sometimes I would say prop firm isn't beginner friendly, but I still have to admit that I started from prop firms. Yeah. But these days prop firms are a little bit more, sketchy. It's a little bit more dark as compared to last time, because last time it was very competitive, maybe because FTMO just started, so it was very competitive. They don't dare to deny a payout. But these days there are a lot of prop firms who can actually do some rug pulls. I don't want to call the name of the prop firm. They do rug pull. They can technically scam you. When when you're about to get a payout, they'll say, I have to review your performance, I have to reduce your leverage, I have to deny a payout based on your risk assessment, based on our risk control team. All these stupid reasons start coming out because these prop firm space is a little bit contaminated. So fast forward today, I have made from prop firm itself, I have already done a video. I've made over 1 million plus from prop firm. Personal capital a lot more. I don't think I have to say the figure. This is my January 2025 was my first 1.3 million months for my personal capital. So I'm proud to say that I'm good to go. I'm already a full-time trader for many years. I have 300 over students. I still receive a lot of DMs saying that if you're so rich, if you make so much money from trading, why do you need to teach? You're a fake guru, whatsoever. Whatever all of you want to say, one thing I can say is I don't trade monopoly money. It's all real money. All of the money came from my trading skill, and it truly requires skill to make $1 million. That's one thing that I will say. So I hope this video inspires many of you. If I can do it, you can do it as well. I started from zero and I get to where I am right now because I just focus on myself. I don't waste money on proving people. I don't waste money on impressing people. And one thing I can say is many information that you see on YouTube are not real. So if you're a new trader watching my video, if you're trying to learn how to trade, you don't have to learn from me. It's fine. I don't really mind. And I always tell our trade club members, any of you can leave anytime. I don't rely on the community fees to survive. Like I said, I've already proved that I made over $1.3 million this month. To me, 2025, I just want to bring my trading to the next level. Hopefully I can hit maybe a 2 million a month. It's not about money anymore at this point. When you start, don't say 1.3 million. It's quite a crazy figure, right? If you are someone who can make 100K from trading itself, you are already out of the rat race. And all your focus is tunnel vision on how can I improve, how can I progress. And I'm at a phase where I just care about progressing. I just make sure I don't move backwards and I'm good to go. So that's it for the video. If you like it, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I hope to see more success from all of you. Talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.